Hi guys, this is going to be a video that I'm going to kind of pair with the video that I just made last night, yesterday, something. Anyway, so I explained as Nurse Julie, she's a hospice nurse. She explained that when a person is unconscious, I have to emphasize that, unconscious, they don't need fluid, they do not need food. And if you research it, you will also see that that is correct, which she is licensed by the state. So she's not going to tell you what you want to hear. She's going to tell you the truth. When a person is unconscious and they're dying, they have no need for food or drink. All right. I'm a little chilly. I don't know why, because I'm always hot. So I don't know what's going on. It's kind of weird. Anyway, so Julie said that 10 times out of 10, which is every single case of a terminal patient that she has, the family still, they ignore what she says, blah, 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 and they're going to do what the hell they want to do, regardless of what's in the best interest of the patient. So now the patient, the loved one, gets to die and look like a freaking cantaloupe with their head or a watermelon this big because somebody decided that they needed water and there was no place for the water to go and nobody cared. So I'm going to help you guys who are either terminal or you know how your family operates and you want to make sure that you're covered when you die because you know how they act. Because 10 times out of 10 families arguing is not good odds. Okay? So there is something called durable power of attorney, okay? That is supposed to be the most powerful of power of attorneys. It's called durable, okay? D-U-R-A-B-L-E, durable power of attorney. So what I suggest you do so that you do not suffer, you know how your family is, or you know how your loved ones act or whatever, and you want to protect yourself when you're dying, you want what you want, and you don't want to have someone else's will thrown on you, what they want thrown on you, regardless of what you want. You have to go the legal route. All right? That's what we're going to do. We're going to go the legal route and we're going to bypass all the bullshit. So what I would strongly suggest you do, and you have to do it no matter which power of attorney you choose to assign. Like I said, whether you're terminal or you already know how your family acts, so you want to get your ducks in a row so that you're protected while you're incapacitated, all right? So what you need to do is contact an attorney. The laws are going to probably vary from state to state. And you talk to the attorney and tell them specifically what you want, what you don't want. After you choose who's going to be your power of attorney, there's medical power of attorney, there's general power of attorney, durable power of attorney. So there's different types of power of attorney. So you have to talk to a lawyer anyway once you choose someone that you trust, which is hard because people are really difficult nowadays, really difficult and unagreeable, disagreeable. So it is, it has to be someone that you trust. It might be someone you went to school with, somebody who y'all respect each other's wishes. That's the most important thing, right? Once you choose that person, then I need you to go talk to an attorney and get your ducks in a row. Most consultations with an attorney are free. The first consultation a lot of times is free. Depends on the attorney, so call them in advance and find out what the requirements are. And then make sure that you have a copy in your house somewhere, just in case your power of attorney has a copy, but they're not really sure where the copy's at. The lawyer will have a copy. You need to have a copy, and your power of attorney, whichever one you choose, will know where it's at in your personal belongings, or where it's at, period. Your Uncle Billy's house, or whatever the case may be. So that's a copy for the lawyer, a copy for the for yourself, and a copy for the whoever is going to be your power of attorney, whichever power of attorney you choose to have. In addition to, the hospital will also have that. Everybody will have a copy. Okay. So the hospital will know, or facility where you're going to be, they will, everybody's going to know. It's going to be a copy in your chart and all of that. And the lawyer will make sure that all of that is lined up. And you will choose someone who is not going to permit your family to bypass your wishes. If they got this psychological thing in their head, I don't care, blah, 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 I don't care if it's bad for them, I don't, blah, 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 no problem. You go ahead and do that, because you will not, the hospital is not going to bypass that person's will. Once it's, what their desires are, they're not going to bypass that. They're going to follow the law. So you have to talk to your attorney, and you have to get this straight. Make sure, like I said, talk to them and see if their first consult is free. And they will go by your wishes, just like there's, and there's so much verbiage. There's living will, and there's DNR. I am familiar with DNR, do not resuscitate. So that means if something happens to this person, they're dying anyway, they have terminal cancer or whatever it is that's going on with them, they've exhausted all medical interventions or whatever, or they're not interested in medical, because some people don't want interventions. They're like, if I'm going to die, let me just go the natural route of the natural course of the cancer, and I want a DNR. Some people do make that choice, and no one's going to bypass that. That is legal. That is on paper. So people can have as many fits as they want, and they can try to skirt the law and do whatever and get their emotions involved and act all kinds of stupid. We're going to have it in place legally. That's going to be your best bet. Because when I see resistance already, okay, and like I said, Julie said 10 out of 10 families argue. That's your sign that you have to go about it a different route. You have to go legally, because that's not going to be argued with at the hospital. That's not going to be argued with. Okay. People will try to bypass the DNR. Don't let them die. Don't let them die. Man, we have a legal DNR in place. This is what this person's wishes are. Here's a copy if you would like a copy of it. Okay. Because someone's always going to have a problem with it. And the only way to avoid that and to bypass irrational emotions is to have everything in place legally. Okay? Legally. So that's what you need to do. All right? And you don't have to be terminal to have a power of attorney. You don't have to be terminal. You can do it anytime you decide to do it. God forbid you leave suddenly. There was a real bad accident, and whatever. You want to have your legal ducks in a row, so that you don't suffer when you die, because somebody is selfish and decided, I don't care if they suffer. This is what I want. By law, we said no. Okay? Thank you. So that's what you got to do. Have it legally in place, because talking is just words bouncing off hard-headed people's ears. And so you have to get your legal ducks in a row, and that's not going to be argued with. The hospital doesn't want to get in legal trouble, so they're not going to bypass it. They don't want to face a lawsuit. So they're going to go by that patient's wishes. And believe it or not, patients have legal wishes, period. Even if it's not a terminal situation or the person's dying, they have legal rights, period. And I know hard-headed people don't want to hear all that, but it's not up to you. It's up to them. Okay? They can decide to, it's called AMA. When you sign out against your doctor's will, you sign a paper. I don't want this treatment no more. I know I got allergies and my throat could sweat. Because I checked myself out, AMA. Wasn't probably the smartest move, but I did it. Because I didn't like the way the nurse was mishandling my IV, and she was in the back of my hand digging like she's digging for gold without saying, I'm sorry, I apologize. She was just she just roughhoused me. She pissed me off. And I said, that's it, I'm out. They said, well, you're going to have to sign papers. I'll sign papers. I'm done. And I checked myself out, AMA. Now, do I advise people to do that? No. Is it your right as a patient to do that? Yes. Your family can go off. They can throw themselves on the floor. They could stomp their feet. They could punch the wall. They could do whatever the hell they want to do. But you as a patient can make that decision. Now, if you checked out AMA and you end up back in the ER or back at the hospital, whatever, your family could easily throw that in your face. I told you not to check out. Now you're back in the hospital again. You don't listen, blah, blah. So, I mean, you know what I mean? But you have legal rights. You have legal rights. Nobody has any right. I don't care who they are, who they think they are, and whether you're terminal or you're not terminal, somebody gonna stomp on everybody else's neck, tell the doctor this is how it's gonna go, and bop, bop. Nope, 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 nope. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. That person has legal rights, whether you agree or not. And if you're going to be so irrational, like I said, you're going to be so irrational that you're going to do something that's detrimental to the person, then when people know this in advance, get your legal paperwork in place. And they can argue with that all day. Nobody's going to argue with that. I mean, you could have as many fits as you want to, but that patient, that person has a right to say what they want or don't want in regards to their body. Period. I can't stand that. We're going to go there. We're going to go there. I've been dealing with narcissistic, self-centered, arrogant mofos my entire life. They are disagreeable because they freaking feel like it. So when I know that people are starting that shit, okay, this is what we gonna do then. Since you want to play games, let's go. Okay, I'm not the person you want to do that with. I'm not the person that you want to resist, argue, fight, stomp all over my rights. No. I've been dealing with that my whole life. People are just hard-headed. They're stubborn. They're determined. They want their way. They don't give a rat's ass. I think a lot of people, to be quite honest with you, are straight up mentally ill. And I think a lot of them are narcissistic. So they have no ability to be logical. They use their emotions to make decisions, which is the worst thing you could do. The absolute worst thing you could do. Make impulsive decisions or make decisions based on the heat of the emotion. That is the worst thing you could do. So I'm going to give you an example of how that was taken care of in this particular family. So I was friends with somebody for years, and let me go backwards. Okay. So girl and a guy, they're brother and sister. They're adults. She is very even-keeled. Even-keeled. Even in the heat of the emotion, even though she wants to burst out in tears and she doesn't do that. She's like, okay, all right. This is what we need to do, okay? He, on the other hand, is, what is wrong with him? He had borderline personality disorder. So to say that he's irrational doesn't even scratch the surface. All right. He's a narcissist in addition to borderline personality disorder. Their parents knew when he was growing up that he was not fit, emotionally, mentally fit to make a decision on their mom or their dad's health. Okay. I'm serious. When he gets stressed out, he has panic attacks. He's hyperventilating. He's at the point of hysteria. He would get to the point of hysteria based on what he thought was going on, even if that wasn't true. Just based on what was in his head, he's going to run across the football field with that misinformation because in his mind it's true. So he is not fit to make decisions based on their parents. The parents knew that. They knew that. So they put the sister in charge. Like I said, they're adults. The sister is in charge. So when one of them passes away, or either one of them, she's the one in charge because she doesn't flip out. She doesn't have dysregulated emotions. She's not a narcissist. She doesn't have like an EKG machine. Her emotions are everywhere depending on the mood that day or the way the sun is shining. She's not one of them. So obviously, out of the two of them, one is unstable and the other one is not. So obviously, the more even-keeled person is the one who made decisions based on the parents. And let's see, her mom died first, or their mom died first. And Nancy, I'll just give you her real name. I don't care. You don't know her last name. You don't know who she is. Nancy handled everything. She was cool, calm, collected. She made sure their wishes were followed through. And then she was married. She moved her dad into a downstairs apartment in her home. She had like a $300,000 home. I think it is. It's maybe more than that. I don't know. Gorgeous, humongous home. And so he had a place downstairs. He had a living area, dining area, his own private entrance. He had a TV, his own bathroom down there. I mean, it was just a really cool setup. And so they moved him in and they took care of him until he died. There wasn't war. There wasn't World War III. There wasn't somebody trying to be defiant. There was none of that. The legalities were in Nancy's hands, and Nancy handled everything. End of story. So that's what you're going to want to have for yourself. Make sure you have your legal ducks in a row. Nancy handled everything. So I don't know if she was a general power of attorney. I'm not really sure. I don't really know how that went down. I didn't ask. It's none of my Kool-Aid. But she handled everything. And when people know that you are the one in charge, you could say what you want to say and you could try to push your agenda. But that person, it is legally up to them to decide to follow through with that person's wishes, regardless. And that's what you have to do when people refuse to listen. You just have to go about it the legal way. That's it. End of story. All right? All right. So you guys take care. It's been nice today. It's not been that bad. It was like 57. But for some reason, I have a chill in my body. I don't know what's going on. Fibro thing. Sometimes our body doesn't regulate its temperature correctly. So it's like weird. Because I'm always hot. Y'all know me. I'm always hot. So anyway. Y'all take care, and like I said, get your legal ducks in a row so you can eliminate people doing whatever the hell they want to do with your body and your whatever health. You don't give them the ability to do that. Get your legal ducks in a row. That's what we're going to do, okay? Y'all take care. Much love. Bye-bye. Oh, let me give you one more thing. When you go talk to an attorney, especially if you're terminal, because you definitely want to get your ducks in a row if you're terminal, okay? I would strongly suggest, before you talk to the attorney, that you write down all your questions ahead of time. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you how many times I was in a situation where I thought I asked all the proper questions, and then I realized after the fact, dang it, I forgot to ask this, I forgot to ask that. So make sure that you write down all your questions and make sure that, well, obviously you have to choose which power of attorney you want. Just medical, you want them to handle your estate, you want them to handle everything, your estate, and what happens to you when you're leaving here, what happens after you leave, and whatever the case may be. You choose that person, then you choose, which attorney. Write down all your questions so that when you have a meeting with them, because I think they charge you once you hire them. They want a retainer usually, and they may charge you for advice on the phone. So yeah, save yourself a few pennies and document all your questions. All right? You guys take care. Much love.